Hello there, YouTubers. This is Musician for Life Love 171 coming to you with a card review of the new card game that will be coming out in your area called Future Card Buddy Fight. Now, this card here that you see here is known as an impact card. It's called Reckless Angerrrr. Arganger. I like that. I like that. Okay. So in this video, again, if you saw the how to play game, I had my good friend Jason show you how to play it.
Hello.
Well, I have him again, and we're going to do a review on our ideas of how it could be a better card. Okay, so let's start off with Jason. What do you think of the card? What do you think would be a better decision with the card? Like, how do you think would help, like, with the card itself?
Well, I admit I'm no pro at this game yet.
Neither of us.
As I mentioned, we are not pros at this game. It just came out recently in America, and we're kind of just getting into this.
To be exact, it came out last week, but the real like cards of them won't come out until like either 23rd, 24th, or the 25th for you guys out there in the US. But it's a card game that was well known in Japan and has been getting good info of it in Japan, so that's why they decided to bring it out in America.
It was also developed by the same people who made Card Fight Vanguard, as well as Wise Schwartz.
Yes, and I'll do other videos on that later on, some other time, okay?
Now, getting back to the topic here, Reckless Anger here is an impact card with the cast cost of 4 gauge and the limitations of you can only play it when your
opponent has 4 or less life,
and if you do not have a monster in the center. On top of that, being an impact card, you can only play it during the final phase, which really limits its effectiveness.
I think, in all honesty, it's a decent card. Like, yeah, I agree. It sounds like it would have been better if it was if your opponent has 4 or less life, it will do like the final, like deal 4 damage to your opponent,
like the card Gargantua Blade
in the anime,
and will be coming out in the English edition.
It'll be coming. I think they say that it's going to be coming out in the trial deck.
Yeah, I believe.
I could always be wrong. You guys can do your own research on that. I could always be wrong because I haven't done a lot of research about this, but from what I know, it should most likely the Gargantuan card will be in the trial deck.
Now, what makes this card a really tricky card to understand for it being an impact card is the ability of you stand one of your weapon cards, and for the turn you get +2 critical to the card, and then you get to attack with the weapon, with the attack not being nullified. Now, it being the final phase and it being the end of your turn, it can be somewhat confusing considering that you're basically standing your weapon again so that you can attack again. Like, it's all fine and useful and all, but even though the attack can't be nullified, it's limited if you have, like, a weapon. Sometimes not everybody's going to have a weapon, and if you have it in your hand, I know that in the trial deck for the Danger World, there's going to be a card that can destroy weapon cards. So, yeah. So, Reckless Anger, it's an okay card, but it could be a lot better if you have, say, Gargantua Blade instead. Like, we have two different weapon cards right here that came in the intro set and should be coming out in at least one of the trial decks. The weapon card Dragon Blade Drago Brave, right there, and the other Dragon Blade Drago Fearless.
Now both of these cards up here are pretty good. Like, especially this one. This one is a 5,000 power and deals 3 damage to your opponent. But yeah, you have to pay 1 gauge and discard a card. That's not that big of a deal. But you gotta also realize that when you play that and you have let's say
Littell
Shield Dragon, and you try to play this, you can't play it because it needs your center to be cleared of anything in front of it. So, because you can't move your own self to the left or to the right, you can only move yourself from the flag and item area to the center. So you have to keep the center wide open. So if you try to play this, the Reckless Anger, it won't work, and you can't do anything with it.
So overall, Reckless Anger, it's a decent impact card, but there are plenty of things that just make this game a lot simpler and a lot easier to deal with.
And like he said, it's a decent card, but I see so many like flaws in it that has problems.
Such as you need to have your center clear in order to use it. You have to have a weapon.
You have to have, like, I see it as a problem of you have to have a weapon. Because say that you just have your flag card and you had a monster in the center and you try to use that, it won't work because it just won't even do anything for you in the long run. So leave some comments below if what you guys think about it, and please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot. And let me know if you like having Jason as one of the co-hosts on a couple of these episodes. Okay, thank you.
Also feel